Miguel Santos found the creature shivering behind the dumpster at 2 a.m., halfway through his night shift at the McDonald's on Route 7. At first, he thought it was a lizard, until it coughed a tiny puff of smoke and looked up at him with eyes that held far too much intelligence. A dragon. A baby one, no bigger than a cat, with scales that shimmered like oil slicks and wings too small to fly. It was also clearly starving, ribs visible under its iridescent hide. Ay, Dios mío, Miguel Guisperth, kneeling down. What are you doing here, little one? The hatchling made a pitiful chirping sound and tried to crawl toward him, but collapsed from exhaustion. Miguel didn't hesitate. He'd been working minimum wage jobs for 20 years, barely scraping by, but he'd never been able to ignore something in need. He scooped up the tiny dragon, surprisingly hot to the touch, and brought it inside. Let's get some food in you, yeah? He knew he'd get fired if his manager found out he was feeding a dragon with restaurant food, but the graveyard shift meant he was alone. Miguel heated up some chicken nuggets, broke them into small pieces, and offered them to the hatchling. The little dragon devoured them desperately, making happy chirping sounds between bites. Miguel smiled, warming up more food. He added some fries, a bit of hamburger patty, even some apple slices. The hatchling ate everything, then curled up in Miguel's jacket, purring like a scaly cat. Poor thing, Miguel murmured, gently stroking the dragon's head. Someone must be missing you. For the next 3 nights, Miguel fed the hatchling during his shifts. The little dragon started following him around while he mopped, occasionally trying to help by breathing tiny flames that Miguel quickly learned to dodge. He named it Chispita, Little Spark. On the 4th night, Miguel arrived at work to find the McDonald's parking lot filled with vehicles that definitely didn't belong there. Sleek, expensive cars, government SUVs, and one massive military transport truck. Standing by the door was a figure in an immaculate suit that seemed to shimmer with the same iridescent quality as dragon scales. His eyes, golden and slitted, fixed on Miguel with an intensity that made him freeze. You are Miguel Santos? The man's voice rumbled like distant thunder. Why, yes, sir. Am I in trouble? That depends. The man stepped aside, revealing what looked like a military command center setup in the McDonald's dining area. Screens showed satellite feeds, armed personnel in tactical gear, and in the center, looking very official and very worried, a woman in a general's uniform. 4 days ago, the man continued, my son was abducted by poachers who intended to sell him on the black market. He escaped during transport. We have been searching desperately. His golden eyes softened slightly. You have been feeding him. Miguel's stomach dropped. Your son? I didn't know. I just found a baby dragon. I am Emperor Kazthor, sovereign of the Draconic Imperium. He gestured to the transport truck, where dozens of soldiers stood at attention. My son is Prince Velrax, heir to the throne of 17 star systems. The Emperor's expression shifted to something almost human, and apparently he has been living off chicken nuggets and sleeping in a janitor's jacket. Before Miguel could respond, Chispita, Prince Velrax, came bounding out from the kitchen where Miguel had left him, chirping excitedly. The little dragon launched himself at Miguel, climbing up his uniform to perch on his shoulder, nuzzling his cheek affectionately. The Emperor stared. He has bonded with you. Bonded? Dragons bond with those who save their lives. It is absolute, irreversible. Emperor Kazthor looked at Miguel with an expression somewhere between amusement and disbelief. My son, the heir to the Draconic Imperium, has bonded with a McDonald's janitor. Miguel felt his world tilting. I'm sorry, I didn't mean. No. The Emperor held up a hand. Do not apologize. You gave my son food when he was starving, warmth when he was cold, safety when he was vulnerable. His voice grew thick with emotion. You asked for nothing in return. You did not know who he was, yet you cared for him as if he were precious. He stepped forward and, to Miguel's absolute shock, bowed deeply. Behind him, every soldier, every official, every person in that McDonald's bowed in unison. You saved the heir to my empire. By our law, you have earned a life debt that can never be repaid. The Emperor straightened. But we can try. Name your price, Miguel Santos. Wealth? Title? A estate on any world you choose. Miguel looked at the little dragon purring on his shoulder, then at this powerful emperor bowing before him. He thought about his tiny apartment, his mounting bills, his aching back from years of mopping floors. I just want to make sure Prince Velrax, is okay, Miguel said quietly. That's all I wanted. Emperor Casthor's expression shifted to something like wonder. You humans, he said softly. You are strange creatures. Any other species would demand kingdoms. He smiled, showing teeth that could rip steel. Very well. Since my son will not leave you, and I cannot break a dragon bond, you leave me little choice. What do you mean? You will come to the imperial palace. You will be appointed royal companion to the prince. You will help raise my son. The emperor's smile widened. And you will be compensated appropriately for abandoning your promising career in fast food sanitation. Miguel started laughing. He couldn't help it. The absurdity of it all. 3 days ago, he was a janitor worried about making rent. Now he was apparently moving to an alien palace. Chispita chirped happily and breathed a small flame of approval. Okay, Miguel said, still laughing. Okay, but can someone tell my manager I quit?